I tweeted this out last night. I was really intrigued and fascinated with Charlie Morton's postgame presser. And a lot of people going, well, it's nice and all, but, he's not pitching well. It's not about that right now. Of course, it's the obvious thing. You got to pitch well. But I want you to listen, because in a press conference after a game, you want players to be raw, organic, and truthful through and through, and it's not a facade. Well, guess what? Charlie Morton delivered on that. So I want to play part of that clip. I'll pull it up right now, and then we're going to talk about it on the other side.
My curve wasn't spinning, and my changeup wasn't sinking and running, and my cutter wasn't consistent, and it would be way easier just to go, you know what, I don't have it anymore. I just don't have the physical talent to do it anymore, but the problem is I do. There's just the outcomes, and the results are so bad that there'll be times just randomly in the day I'll think about it. I'll think about like how poorly I've pitched, and I'll think about how bad the results are. And honestly, it feels like it's almost like shocking to me, because I have the experience, I have knowledge. I still think that I still physically have the tools to be a halfway decent pitcher. Maybe I'm not the same guy that, did what I did when I was, I had one of my best seasons when I was 37 years old. But I still think that I have the physical ability to go out there and be a halfway decent pitcher. I know that might sound crazy, but not too long ago, I actually had a decent year, and so it's really hard for me to think that there's not a possibility that I just go out there and I just have a decent stretch or a decent year. So when I wake up and I think about, man, how poorly this has gone, it's honestly sometimes I don't know really how to process it, other than trying to be honest and rational with myself. And just like tonight, base hit on a 1-1 changeup. That was halfway decent pitch. He went with it, did a good job. Clemens was just a bad at bat. That's a walk. And then curveball that didn't do anything. And it's 3 hitters right there. If it's maybe even limit the walk. Don't give up that hit with the walk. Get homer. And say I give up a run or two and I walk off that mound and I feel okay. It wasn't great, but maybe I feel different. Maybe it looks different. I don't know. Sorry, I know that doesn't really answer your question, but there's just no other way. There's just no other way to do it. It's you either quit, you give up, you give in, or you say, what's coming out of my hand still can get out.
So that again was Charlie Morton on Mass and After. And look, Zach, the pause is there, the sitting and the realization that it isn't good enough right now. But I want people to understand this. There's a difference of not pitching well, right? And that's your job. You got to go out there and pitch, and you got to go out there and execute. And that's the obvious. That's why I'm not talking about this. You don't pitch well enough. The Orioles haven't won a game that Charlie Morton is pitching this year. 0-9. This is his worst stretch he's ever had in his career, and he's been in the big leagues a very long time, Zach. He's dealt with a ton. But people want raw, organic commentary from players. You just got that. And he broke it down. If you watch the whole clip, 5 minutes of him just talking about what worked, what didn't work. And I'll be honest, Zach, he's not wrong that his stuff isn't that his stuff actually can get out. Because here's the crazy thing. I'm going to pull up this graph real quickly, and then I'll get into the rest of the conversation here. If you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Brian Ripken Show. We do this live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and we're live here at Alliance Material Handling in Jessup, Maryland. Let me pull up this video for you, or this graphic, because the crazy thing is that his numbers are not good against other pitching. I'm not going to even try to defend that, right? Where is this screenshot that I just had, Zach? I just had it. It's a Charlie Morton, and we're talking about the years that he's had. Oh, there it is. So the crazy thing for me here, when you're looking at this, looking at last year, his curveball and all the numbers, right? They hit 200 against his curveball. Big difference this year, hitting 333. 292 off of his changeup, 277 off his fastball, 338 off his sinker, 286 off his cutter, right? And you're seeing all these inflated numbers, 462, 375, 455, and 333. His fastball is actually, it's the best it's been, 194. The problem is he's not executing and controlling. And if you can't execute and control, you can't set up your next pitches. And his curveball is his main pitch, and that's not landing. And you saw it last night. The sequence, he was right. There was, Zach, one really bad pitch that he made, and it was the 3-run homer. And the only thing that I would say I hated the sequence was against Clemens, the hitter before. 2-0, and you throw a changeup to the 9-hole hitter. I got a problem with that. Challenge him with that heater. That's an execution thing. But him giving up a hit to the 8-hitter, it's baseball.
Yeah.
It happens. But, man, I feel for a guy that truly all he wants to do is make an impact, and it hurts him to know that he has been a big reason why this Orioles pitching staff has gotten off to a rough start. What would the record be, Zach, if Charlie Morton the Orioles had won half of his games?
They'd be like at 500. They'd pretty much be a 500
Almost
team.
at a 500 team. So I know you have sentiments, but go ahead. What do you think of all this?
I mean, it really is. It was brutal to watch that Charlie Morton presser. I mean, it is tough to watch a guy who has had success in this league and has had such a long career kind of sit there and have to self-contemplate in front of everyone. Like, I don't know what's happening. You know, he can't pinpoint it. He's like, I don't know, like, if something's looking different, what it is. And, you know, you can see the frustration when he keeps saying, like, I know I could easily just say I don't have it anymore, but he's like, I feel like I do. Like, I have it still. And like you said, fastball's, you know, the best it has been, or, you know, better than it has been. It really is just, I think he nailed it. Like, it is kind of mind-boggling to think about just how bad it's been. Like, I don't, in a million years, he could not have predicted. If you would have told him spring training, hey, you're going to have an awful start to the season, I'm telling you, he would not even think it was half as bad as this, because it has been brutal. There have just been uncompetitive, you know, outings where it feels like, you know, we talked about, they haven't won a game he's pitched in, you know, out of the bullpen or starting. So it really does just feel like, you feel for him as the person, because it's like you can tell he's struggling and he doesn't know what's happening. But on the field, like has been disastrous.
It's a results-based industry, right? And if you're not playing well, you're not pitching well, they're going to look at options. The reality for the Orioles, though, they don't have many other options yet. You know, McDermott's coming back. He could be an option upcoming here. They could have someone else fill that void, but for right now, they needed him to pitch. So he did. And you're talking about historically bad. Zach, this is going to be his worst season since he debuted in the major leagues in 2008. He's had 1 year that was bad, quote unquote, bad.
Yeah.
And that was in 2010, 15 years ago. So for a guy, when he mentioned about 2017, where he's like, I had a dominant year, I'll even take it even further. It wasn't even 2017. In 2019, he had an ERA just over 3. In 2021, he had an ERA that was a 3.34. Hell, 2 years ago, he had a 3.64 ERA. So when you're looking at a guy, his body's not breaking down. I think that's what I want to emphasize here. His body's not breaking down. It's not like a Craig Kimbrell where his body was, and then he had to be more perfect and he wasn't making the pitches. Charlie's body's holding in there fine. The execution has just been extremely bad, but the stuff could be better, but it's not broken.